Welcome to Learning at Home with Mrs. V. All right, so I have 2 trays of cookies. I really wish I had these cookies right here because I'm really hungry for some cookies. Now, I made my favorites, peanut butter cookies in orange and chocolate chip cookies in the black. All right, so we'll pretend I am not an artist, so let's just pretend. All right, so I have these trays of cookies and I am going to show the amount of cookies using the distributive property. All right, so first of all, I have to separate these cookies. So I have the peanut butter cookies separated from my chocolate chip cookies. So now I have to look at these as if they are arrays. Arrays are what by what? So we've got one number here, one number here that represent the number of cookies. So we've got to have that to represent the number of peanut butter cookies. So we have a 2 by 4 for our peanut butter cookies, and we have a 3 by 4 of our chocolate chip cookies. All right, so what is the same in both arrays? If you said 4, you are right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 4 out, and I'm going to write that 4 times 3 plus 2. All right? So 4 times, and remember, if we don't have a multiplication sign, it means you're multiplying. 4 times 3 plus 2. So I have 4 times 3 here and 4 times 2 here. All right? So when we take that and we distribute this, the 4 to the 3, so we've got 4 times 3, plus we distribute the 4 to the 2, 4 times 2, all right? Then we take these and we multiply these, and lastly, we add up to get our sum, which is 20 cookies. So, do we have 20 cookies? Well, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. It matches. So, I want to point out to you some language that we used in the classroom. So we've got, this is factored form. This right here is expanded form. So when we're talking about the distributive property, when we factor something out, which we factored the 4 out of this equation, and just have the 2 plus 3 and multiply both the 3 and the 2 times the 4, that would be factored form. We factored something out of the equation. When we put it back into the equation, it is expanded form. All right? So let's look at this other tray of cookies. And I wish I had this tray, not this tray. This one has more. All right, so I've got my chocolate chip cookies on the top this time and my peanut butter cookies on the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a line separating the 2. And this time I have 2 peanut butter cookies high and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aha, there's my similarity there between the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so this time I'm going to factor out a 6 to make this into factored form. So I have 6 times 5 plus 2. So here is my factored form. Factored form. Now I'm going to create the standard form. So I'm going to distribute that 6 to the 5. So I've got 6 times 5. Plus, I'm going to distribute this to the 2, 6 times 2. And now I have my expanded form. I told you the distributed property could be delicious. It'd be even better if I had the cookies. All right, so 6 times 5 is 30, plus 6 times 2 is 12. So this gives me 42 cookies. So this is to show what's here on the tray of cookies in both factored and expanded form using the distributive property. All right? So I have a paper for you to work on for the distributive property. Hopefully this is a good visual review for you. You can actually draw out the arrays if you would like to in order to solve the equations, but you don't need to. You need to remember there's both factored and expanded form that you'll find on your papers, and I want you to solve. All right? And sometimes you'll find that there's an unknown, and let me go ahead and do a problem really quick. So if you see something like 3 times g plus 7, when you factor that, when you put those factors back in, you're going to distribute it to the g, so that's going to be 3g, 3 times g, plus 3 times 7, all right? And when you solve this, you'll have 3g plus 21, and that's going to be your solution. That's going to be the solution because you don't know what g equals. Although we could put values in to equal g, but I mean, everybody would have a different answer that way. So when you use an unknown, that's how you would write that then in expanded form. Okay? All right. So I want you to finish that distributive property paper and make sure you hand it in. I want you to keep watching, keep thinking, always stay curious, and I'll see you next time.